And welcome back to CMS Connected here in Las Vegas at the 404 conference. How is everybody doing here in the audience? Everybody having a good time this week? Love it. Great to hear. So we're having a great discussion up on stage right now, talking about marketing automation, and we're talking about marketing versus sales, marketing and sales, marketing with sales. How can they become buddies and not mortal enemies at times, right? So that we've got a great panel up here joining us right now. And what I want to do is I want to kind of shift the focus a little bit more and really more of the solutions to the common problems that we kind of talked about at first. So we kind of answered this question a little bit more, but from a marketing perspective, I want to touch on this again. From sales involvement with a campaign or content strategy, how vital really is it? I mean, we talked about that a little bit in the beginning, but from a campaign level, that's what I want. Not necessarily what process do we kind of introduce them, but a campaign level. The marketing team kind of puts together this great campaign. I'm just going to keep using a gym analogy, right? Because it's totally outside of this room. A marketing campaign that we're going to get all these people to lose 10 pounds. This is the campaign that we're running with right now. Now that would be great, especially after a week in Vegas. No question about that. But at what point do you get the sales team involved in with even the campaign portion? This is kind of an overall marketing question, not even just content automation. So Keith, I'll start with you on that.
Well, I think we're a big believer of getting sales in early, even if it's just a campaign. And I wouldn't call it just a campaign because campaigns are where leads come from. But to go back to Vince's point, it's really sales are the people that are talking to the customers. So they know what resonates with the customers, what they're going to need to help close a deal. And that surely is information that can inform a campaign. So I think if you bring sales in, understand how they talk to the customers, what they do to sort of nurture the lead along to get to close, that can only make better campaigns.
Do you guys, from a sales perspective, do you kind of agree with that? Or because one of the things I will say, having seen it, I think your sales directors and everybody wants to be involved in the campaign, but sometimes the boots on the ground, their mindset is, I just got to close a deal, right? I'm not thinking about this. How early does sales and the entire sales structure need to be in on it?
I think the successful salesperson today understands the value of marketing content, right? So I think everyone's starting to flow into that one mission, one team kind of mentality. I think you need to establish some kind of process of a regular review, and Vince mentioned over-communication, because these things happen so fast. These instances of this customer asked this question, well, it's going to get asked again. So find those little instances and have a workflow established between sales and marketing to bubble up and send over these question and answer situations that resonate, because voice of customer is everything.
Yeah, I think we are still even here talking about when should these people be involved with these people, and we're keeping them in their silos. It's important to see that they've got a shared objective of revenue growth, and that really sales and marketing should be getting together and having a shared strategy, shared metrics, shared reporting. So as to when should sales be involved in a campaign, if they can bring value to the campaign, get them involved, but they should know what campaigns are coming up, because that campaign is going to drive leads that might have questions about missing information from that campaign or questions directly involved from that campaign. So really the two groups, they have to have better alignment and a better sort of shared understanding of what strategies are in place.
I'd like to add to that, because I think that there's also two other pieces. We're focusing very heavily on marketing and sales and their interaction. I understand that's the point, but I think there's a bigger picture here. I think that the engineers that actually work with the customers and the marketers that work with the customers, and at least in our business, have a lot of insight into what customers are wanting and talking about. And I think that needs to filter back up to the marketing and sales team as they develop the strategy. And I think also that it's really important that we go back and ask our customers, whether we talk to them face to face or whether we survey them on a regular basis to find out what their thoughts and insights are. And even if the other side of it too is that even if we don't make the sale, taking the time to go find out, why didn't we get the sale? Or if it's just like if you think back about Herman Cain, when he came in to take over Godfathers, he went out and he learned every job on the floor, right? So he could totally understand it. So I think we've got to look at it from a holistic perspective, not just marketing and sales, but a whole company, and then also the customer, who's the most important element.
Now, that's what they should be doing. Now, for the folks that are wondering, just going back to the resources question, right? How do we devote resources to that when we're thinking kind of the next sale, especially, go back to the gym again, right? They're not selling a $400,000 product, right? They're not selling something $500,000. They're selling something maybe, $50 a month, right? $100 a month. They're trying to go to the next sale as quick as possible and really kick them out as quickly as possible. What do we say to them as far as going back and revisit, why didn't you make that sale? Why didn't you close it? How much time do you devote to that in particular?
Well, I don't think there's a magic bullet or a magic number to that. I think it really depends on the customer, and I think that that's what we get paid for, is coming up with those ideas that are going to help them gain that kind of insight within their budget and what they can afford. And if we look at it, going back holistically across their organization, the people that work in a gym, on the gym floor, understand the customers probably better than anybody. We want that feedback. And it's our job servicing the customer to kind of tell them, hey, these are the things that you can do within your budget to get that kind of insight and get going in the right direction.
Excellent.